Guilty of murdering his son. That's the verdict in the trial of Cory Bigsby, the father of 4-year-old Codi.
Justice. Wow. That's all anyone wanted, is justice.
His face, when we seen his face, we fell in love with him. And he became 7x7's child.
We're following through on our reporting of this case with team coverage on the verdict and community reaction to a story that has captured the hearts of Hampton Roads for more than 2 years.
And we begin with that breaking news out of Hampton. Cory Bigsby found guilty of murdering his son, Codi. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kurt Williams.
And I'm Jessica Larche. We have team coverage on the verdict tonight, and we begin with News 3 reporter Angela Bohan, who has covered this entire trial for us and was in the courtroom to hear that verdict.
All right, so Angela, take us inside the courtroom. What was the reaction like when that verdict was announced?
Well, Kurt and Jessica, a lot happening in this 7-day trial. 20 witnesses, multiple tries from the defense to try and get a mistrial, but none of that worked, and it all came down to this afternoon waiting for that verdict. After about 2 hours of the jury deliberating, it was very quiet in the courtroom. You could feel everyone was waiting for that moment. Even after the guilty verdict was read, very quiet and calm. Have a look. We were not allowed to record audio in the courtroom, but as you can see, Cory Bigsby did not have any visible reaction to the guilty verdict. He's been pretty calm the entire 7 days of this trial. He also, in my opinion, sounded rather calm on the 911 call when he reported Codi missing. While deliberating, the jury did ask to have another look at the police body cam video from when he first reported Codi missing. Moments after the verdict, we caught up with lead defense attorney Curtis Brown. He had said in closing that for the Commonwealth, this was about sympathy, not evidence. So I asked him about the letters that Bigsby allegedly wrote, talking about how he buried Codi. You said they didn't present enough evidence. What about the letters?
You all presented the case the way that y'all wanted, as if he was guilty already and everything, so y'all should be satisfied.
Sir, are you going to appeal?
We'll talk about it.
We also heard from the Commonwealth's attorney, Anton Bell, who's been pretty silent throughout this process. Codi's mom was the first to testify, and Bell praised her later for her courage. He also talked about how there is still no closure.
We still do not have the body and probably will never have the body. So you can never bring complete healing and closure as a result of that.
Bigsby, who has been out on bond, was handcuffed and taken back into custody. I was in the courtroom as the judge and attorneys picked the date of sentencing, ironically June 18th, which has a special meaning.
Would it not be poetic justice that the day that we chose for the sentencing to be the anniversary, the third anniversary of the day that the defendant was convicted of murdering his 3-year-old child?
And the prosecutor told us he still plans to file child neglect charges against Bigsby. And many have been asking about Codi's brothers. Well, we learned during the trial that they are now living with their mother in D.C. Kurt and Jessica.
Angela, we know this has been an incredibly emotional time for the family, for the community, for you as well in the courtroom to see all of this. You said earlier one of the things you'll never forget is Codi's 7-year-old brother testifying and what he was saying about him. Tell us more about that, Angela.
Absolutely. I can tell you that when his brother talked about him, the community that was sitting in front of me immediately began crying as he described his brother, and it was hard for me to fight back tears as well, just as a mother hearing that. The Commonwealth's attorney even had him lie on the table and demonstrate how he found his brother, and that was, I feel like, a powerful moment. And I feel like there's just so many questions that still remain. Certainly, we heard about how Bigsby apparently brought the older brother to Busch Gardens multiple times after police believed that he killed Codi. And I asked today to Anton Bell, what about the twins, the younger twins? Where were they? We heard he never had a babysitter. So he said he alleges that they were home. So we anticipate maybe more charges coming on that. Jessica, back to you.
Angela, thank you so much. Our Angela Bohan with difficult but very important coverage of this high-profile trial. Thank you, Angela.
Our team coverage continues tonight with News 3 reporter Ellen Ice. Ellen, you have covered this from the very beginning. You said earlier you remember seeing the crime scene tape when there were searches out for little Codi in January of 2022, and now today being there for this verdict in the trial. What was the reaction from the members of the community who were there today?
Well, so the community has had a lot to say about this case for the last 2 years, and today they tell me they are feeling thankful for the guilty verdict.
Guilty as charged, guilty!
Relief. That's what community members tell me they're feeling after Cory Bigsby was found guilty of killing his 4-year-old son, Codi.
We've wanted this for 26 months, and we finally got it. These are happy tears, y'all. They're happy tears.
Codi was first reported missing in January of 2022, though it's suspected the young boy died months earlier, possibly as early as June of 2021. His body has never been found.
Justice. That's all anyone wanted is justice. And now please just come forward and say, where is he? So there can be closure.
Closure in a case that has captivated Hampton Roads.
He got me. He got us all. His face, when we seen his face, we fell in love with him. And he became 7x7's child.
It's an emotional ending to a long 2 years, and Bigsby is set to be sentenced in June. Live in Hampton, Ellen Ice, News 3.
And incredibly emotional, and this has been with the Hampton Roads community for more than 2 years. And we do want to get some more context on what we have seen unfold today. Yeah, so Dr. Eric Claville from Norfolk State University joining us now with some analysis. So you have talked about this kind of case before where you have a murder trial with no body. There was a conviction. What do you think did it for the jury?
Kurt, I believe that the testimony of the brother was really the turning point of this particular case, because everyone is either a brother, a sister, a mother, father, an aunt, or uncle, and I think they resonated, with that testimony of the brother. I believe the closing argument, that last statement given by the Commonwealth's attorney, stuck with him. As a good trial lawyer, that last statement that you make is really what's going to resonate when you go back to deliberate in the jury. Not only that, but the reading of the statements by the correction officers, right? I believe that also, and seeing their emotion, I think that pulled a lot of emotion from the jury, and it really hit home as it relates to what possibly really happened. And based upon the evidence that was submitted, they believe that they came to the right conclusion and returned a verdict of guilty on this case. We talk about there is no body. We don't know where little Codi, where his remains are. But again, Cory Bigsby either dictating to corrections officers or writing in a journal about his son's death, about putting his son's body in a trash bag. Let's talk about the amount of time he could spend in prison now that he's been convicted. Based upon the statute here in the Commonwealth of Virginia for this conviction on second-degree murder, he could spend a maximum of 40 years in jail for that particular conviction, also a minimum of 5. With the concealment of the body, that's an additional 5 years max that he could receive for that charge. So a total of 45 years for the conviction that was handed down today.
But real quickly, additional time he is looking at, substantial additional time for other charges.
That's absolutely correct. Commonwealth's attorney, Anton Bell, said he's going to file charges on child neglect, and I believe it's multiple charges, 30 plus. And with that, he could have a maximum sentence of 162 years for all of those charges if convicted on them.
Cory Bigsby potentially in prison for the rest of his life. That sentencing happening on June 18th. Dr. Eric LaVille from Norfolk State University, thank you so much.
Thank you.